Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds. Only just. Hey up, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great week. Hope everyone's week is going super, super fast. Almost a Friday now. Thursday tomorrow. Cannot wait. Elland Road under the lights. 8 p.m. kickoff against West Ham. Cannot wait. Bring it on. What a great fixture to have to hopefully bounce back from an abysmal result. An okay performance, but still an abysmal result, with some average performances in there from certain people as well. And I think he may ring the changes. At his press conference today, did Mr. Farke. A couple of people with illness, a couple of people late fitness tests. So he isn't going to have everybody at his disposal, which is a shame. A fully fit Leeds United, does that even exist? Probably not with the business we made. You know, brought some players in who have injury worries. DCL, Touchwood doesn't have them. Okafor does. We have players on books already. Your Strauchs, your Ampadu's, your Nontos, your James who have injury history. And it's proven again this season. So we'll never have a fit squad. So, yeah, we'll just have to plod on as we are. Always patched up. But, yeah, even with a patched up side at Burnley, I was thoroughly disappointed that we didn't at least come away there with a point for all the key metrics that everyone keeps talking about that didn't add up to anything other than a 2-0 loss, which is a shame. And we can't go on like that. You know, we can't go on playing okay, having possession, having you know, shots, having big chances and not converting them. Ultimately, you get relegated with that sort of notion. So hopefully West Ham at home is a decent fixture. You know, it's not a City, it's not a Liverpool, it's not one of the big boys. It's not a free hit. Let's say it's a game. There's mass pressure on it. It's huge. But a lot of people say to me it feels like the biggest game of the season. I think every game does. I think Burnley did before we played that. You know, I think Wolves away felt massive. I think because it's a side in and around us or below us, it sort of amplifies how big it feels. You know, these are 6 pointers. You know, we're currently 4 points clear of West Ham. We win, we go 7 points clear. We lose, we're only 1 point clear, similar to what it was with Burnley. So I'm massive me on sort of keeping them down, you know, putting your foot on the head and just forcing it. You stay there, we're off upskids, but it's I'm honestly I'm dead nervous for it, dead nervous. I just don't know. I don't know what West Ham's going to turn up. When you look at West Ham's form, you know, away from home, miles better than at home. Picked up 4 points in total. All of them come on the road. Beat Forest away and they got a draw. It'll lose me where they got the draw from, but yeah, they're on 4 points at home. It's very toxic. Got beat on Monday night against Brentford 2-0. Turgid performance, one of the worst performances I've seen from anyone this season. You can just see the fans, the club, the players, everyone from boardroom down. It's not working there at the minute. So this is a great time to play him for me. They haven't won under new manager, Nuno, and I'm a big fan of Nuno's. I think he's a good manager. But I can see it turning at some point. I don't think they finish in the bottom 3. Unfortunately, I think Wolves do. I think Burnley may. It'd be lovely if West Ham did. Cause, you know, it's us staying up then at their pedal. But yeah, I do think they're too good to be down there. So I'm expecting them to turn around at some point and put in a decent performance because they have got good players. You know, can you really go down with Paqueta in your side, a Bowen in your side, a Kilman, Diouf at full back? You can. We went down early 2000s with an absolute star-studded side to a degree, so it can happen. But I do think they'll turn it around. I just hope it's not on Friday night. The fact it's away from home, you know, it gives them that sort of freedom just to go play the football without having 60 odd thousand fans booing them and carrying on and feeling that discontent in the fan base. So it probably would be one of our wins in London, few wins in London if this were to be at the London Stadium on Friday. But yeah, it's at Elland Road, and our form at home has been brilliant. You know, genuinely, I talk about I'd rather play West Ham at home than City or Liverpool. To be fair, anybody coming to Elland Road is going to know they're in for a game. I don't think we get rolled over at home with ease this season. Tottenham only team to beat us there in the last 12 months, and it was hard for them. It was one of their toughest games to play this all season. We were unlucky in that game for me not to get a point. So, yeah, whoever it is, we'll give them a game. The fact it's West Ham, we're in turmoil. I think it's a great game for us to play. In the press conference today, obviously we got news that there's a couple of illnesses in there, Pascal Struijk and Ampadu. So with Ampadu, he's the only one I look at them two and think, we really need him to play. The alternative is Gruev. And I like Gruev, I've always rated Gruev, but at Premier League level, in a game that I am deeming a must-win, this is a must-win. What happens if we lose, Matty? We're still all right. We still can stay. Yeah, I know we can because there's still 29 games afterwards. So must-win. It's not a must-win until if you don't win, you get relegated, I guess. But it just feels a must-win. So I'm going to call it a must-win. But yeah, Gruev coming in for Ampadu, I'm not feeling that. So hopefully, this illness, whatever it is, hopefully Ampadu can get in and play. I think he will. I think he missed training today, and Pascal missed training. But it's not saying they won't train tomorrow. And I think they'll do a bit of training Friday as well, won't they? So he won't consider anybody who doesn't train on that final day of training. But I think knowing Ampadu, he'd play with a broken arm, broken leg, no legs. So I think a bit of an illness. I think he'll get over it. Will Ampadu? Struijk, on the other hand, regardless of an illness, I think he was going to come out anyway. In my opinion, I think he tries be all in this one. It's a good game to play him. I think if he makes the changes that a lot of us want, whether it's a formation change, which it won't be, or it is a be-all, a Perry, a Tanaka in for Stack, if he makes these changes and we still lose the game, I don't think many people will point a finger at Farke. I think the fact that he tends to just be going with one plan all the time and picking the same personnel, if we lose, if he picks the same side as Burnley and we lose to West Ham, I think there'll be a lot of people sharpening the knives. If he makes the tweaks and changes, I think everyone can see. Say Struik's not been too bad for me. I think he's getting pelters because there's a new shiny toy waiting to come in. So I just think like the new shiny toy player, it's probably time now for something to change. We are conceding goals again. And I don't really think this Leeds United side, happened at Wolves, we came back from behind, but I don't think we can win many games if we concede first goal. I don't think we've got 2-3 goals in us as a side at the minute. Hopefully that's rectified on Friday. Hopefully, we can put a few past these. You never know at Elland Road, if it's, when it's rocking, it can happen. But yeah, I think keeping a clean sheet is vital. Keep a clean sheet, I back us to get 3 points. We're not the most we're not the most potent in front of goal at the minute. So yeah, keeping them a clean sheet gives us, every chance of going and winning game then. But they are no mugs. Like I say, they've got some really good players of West Ham, and it will click into action at some point for them, but hopefully not Friday. Moving a bit further forward, then you've got Okafor, Nonto, and James. They're the three we want to see in there. We want to see either two of them three, playing either side of DCL. If he's going to go with that 4-3-3, which I presume he will. Okafor has more of a chance than Nonto by the sounds of it. We heard it was 7 to 10 days by Fabrizio, didn't we? So I assumed he'd miss both games, Burnley and West Ham. Sounds like there's a chance he's going to do a late fitness check, and there's more of a chance that Okafor will play with the injury not being as long as what Nonto's been out for. I don't see Nonto playing any part, mate. Maybe he sees the bench, but I mean, if James is fit enough to play some minutes and Okafor's fit enough to play some minutes, alongside Aronson and Harrison, I'm sure that they'll be the four that get the minutes. But really, when you look at that side, I think it really needs Okafor to play, even if he can do half an hour, as an option off the bench. I think we need him, to inject some sort of creativity in there, get a bit closer to DCL. He's a goal scoring winger as well. He's already got 2. For me, Harrison and Aronson, as opposed to a James and an Okafor. If you're West Ham, you're having a much more easier day if you're against Harrison and Aronson, aren't you? So gives them a lot more to think about. 2 direct wingers who won't give them a minute's peace. So it's hard to predict how the game's going to go when a couple of these personnel differences, depending who's fit and who's available or who he picks in general, it's a total different sort of standpoint in result, really, as well as performance for me. If it's Aronson and Harrison, it's going to be tough to win the game. It's going to be really tough, especially if there's no, fit Nonto or half fit Nonto or Okafor on the bench to bring on. If it's very similar to Burnley, it's going to be very difficult, even though we are at home. These are no mugs. Away from home, 4 points already. Not a bad return away from home. And they have got some star quality if they turn up. And obviously, Cree Somerville, dare I say it, if he turns up and has one of those performances, which sometimes you can do, we can elevate your performance when you're against a former club. Don't know what kind of reception he'll get. I don't think it'll be too bad. There'll be a few boos in there, I would imagine, but hopefully he's off his game. Hopefully it puts him off his game too, because if he turns up and plays well, I think he was their best player on Monday night, and even though it was a poor West Ham, and they are currently a poor West Ham too. But yeah, hopefully Okafor is fit enough to play some minutes, and if Dan James is fit enough, I'd start him. I said on an earlier video this week that if Okafor isn't fit, or if he's on the bench and they've got to start someone out on that left, I'd probably start Jack Harrison over Aronson if James is fit too. I think James comes in for Aronson if available, and I wouldn't want to see Aronson move over to the left. I'd stick with Jack Harrison, mainly just for the point of I think he's got a goal in him more than Aronson has. If the opportunity arises, he almost had he should have had an assist if Aronson could have finished his dinner with that great bit of play Jack did to play him in on Saturday. But also, main reason they're playing Jared Bowen on that right hand side, I would imagine. So it gives Gabby Goodmanson a little bit more protection, because Jack Harrison can go both ways. Or he can go backwards probably more than forwards, but you know what I mean. He's a defensive winger, and I think doubling up on Bowen in moments in the game might be needed. So I wouldn't be against that. But hopefully we see Dan James and Okafor either side of DCL, and all of a sudden my predictions and my just general feel will go up a level an hour before kick-off if I see that. So yeah, I'm going to go my team. I'm going to go Perry. I don't mind if Darlow stays in. I probably would prefer Darlow to have another go. He's done not wrong, but I think Perry comes back. I think it's time for Perry and Biol to try and cement the place in this side now. And hopefully they are, every bit of the player, we thought we bought, and we all pray they are, because we are leaking goals now. So yeah, I hope. Let's go Perry. Goodmanson at left back. Biol, centre half, partnering Rodon, right full back, so right back, Bogle. In midfield, I want to see Longstaff, Ampadu and Tanaka. I want Tanaka coming for Stack. Stack's been way off in the last few games. I give him the benefit of doubt after Bournemouth and Spurs because of the quality of opposition. Burnley, we know what to be seen. There were no excuse for some of the decisions or lack of decisions they made in that game. So Stack comes out for Tanaka. I think you'll see a hungry Tanaka. It gives you more going forward as well. If we have got an Aronson or a Harrison or both playing, it gives you something extra from midfield. And I think at home we need that. We don't have to be so defensively minded. So yeah, I'd have Tanaka. Then obviously, hopefully it's Okafor, James and DCL up front. That's how I hope the side lines up. And hopefully on the bench we've got, we've still got Pino on there. Hopefully Nonto can be fit enough to feature on the bench, have a few difference makers. Stack could be on the bench as well if that were the side, and he can come on later on game as well. So yeah, that's my sort of thoughts on the team. Like I say, I think West Ham are below. They're playing below the level for me, and I think they will get it right eventually. What right is for West Ham, I'm not too sure, but I don't think it'll be relegation. So yeah, hopefully this is a game we can sort of push ourselves further forward and get to 11 points after 9, which will be a great return with Brighton away to come, which we know will be easy. So yeah, that's my sort of thoughts on it. My prediction. It started out as 1-1 earlier in the week. It's 2-1 Leeds now. It'll probably be 5-1 by the time I get to Friday night. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I think we concede, especially if we bring in a couple of players into that back five. There might be a few communication errors. And even if you stick to the same team, we're conceding 2 a game at minute as well. Our last 3 games conceded 2 in each game. So I think we'll concede. I think we'll win the game though. I think we'll score a couple of goals. Hopefully. If you had to pick a goal scorer, it's got to be DCL. DCL needs to start finishes his dinner. So for me, that's where I'm sort of pinning my hopes on. He can have a great performance off the ball, on the ball like he does, but when that chance comes, hopefully he can bury it. But yeah, nervous, excited. If you see me in Peacock before the game, give me a shout. We'll have a chat. If you don't worry about it, but I'll be there. Me and Priestley, looking forward to meeting up with him as well. It's been a few weeks. So yeah, everyone take care. Have a great last couple of days at work. Take care. See you soon. March on together.